The price action is indicating to me a bullish trend. We have series of high lows, high highs, and the 21 bar exponential moving average, the blue line, the supportive indicator only, is pointing up. So I naturally need to identify my channel because these candles are always following a pattern, a channel. So you can see I'm connecting the first 3 swings at the bottom, allowing me to draw a trend line. I'm going to copy it, put it at the top, and right now I'm looking at bullish structure. So now that we are breaking the channel, I expect for prices to retest the new extreme because this uptrend needs to get new extreme. The downtrend also has a break and a new low. Now, can I go long just yet, even though I expect for prices to test the new high? I cannot, because we are still below exponential moving average, even though it is a supportive indicator only. This is how we can use the exponential moving average to help us identify if there is a residual bearish momentum left, because you never know exactly how many pushes lower there's going to be. And you could buy below EMA if you have a key entry point or trend line, which we don't. We just have a break new low. So only thing right now, I need to wait for prices to push above EMA. That would confirm the bullish momentum in the market. Notice prices are pushing higher. Okay, this is what I want to see. So we have new low. From this low, I'm going to reset the count. And we have a first entry short pullback. Second entry short is forming. Why am I counting for second entry short while we are trading a bullish channel? Well, because I want to see the second entry short to fail, because there's going to be opportunity for me to capitalize on trap sellers looking for me to create move to new extreme. And notice we have a new low, first entry short, pullback, second entry short failure, a decent bullish bar, managed to close above the EMA, the downtrend created first leg down, pullback, second leg down, and this right here is the first high probability setup for the day. There is no congestion. Great tier 1 signal bar is a failed second entry short while we're expecting for prices to create new extreme because the structure of the market remains bullish. Now, we can see that the prices are working hard and I can already see the EMA is flattening. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to redraw potential support because I can see that the EMA is starting to flatten a lot. Now, if I get higher low, can I go long? I cannot because we have moved too far from the failed second entry short. And it's no longer feels like it's part of confirmation of the failed second entry short. So I'm not interested in going long just yet. And notice prices are working higher. And notice what is happening. We can see that the prices are struggling to push higher. Each new bullish push is smaller and smaller. And we are getting flatter and flatter. Notice at first, once you're below EMA, you push above EMA and it's swift move up. And suddenly prices, instead of rallying up higher, because this is what's supposed to happen after second entry short failure, prices are supposed to create new high. The fact that you turn down here and you turn down here again is indicating to you that right now you're going too sideways and there's possibly some potential resistance. For this reason, I have a small second entry long, but we first push below EMA and I can't take it. Why? Because notice how we are getting flat. We didn't manage to create new high after the failed second entry short. And you can see there's some small support, small resistance being built. So you can see how prices are starting to go sideways. It's not as clear and strong of a bullish momentum, especially here after you turn down. After this high low, you definitely need to create new extreme. The fact that it didn't create new high, that's definitely a worry. So you don't be going long just yet. You can see prices are working lower. So now that I see prices break below EMA, I'm going to redraw the downtrend. I'm always trying to follow the channels inside of this trend range. And right now, this is a trend range with bullish bias because we started with a strong bullish channel, not a single close below EMA. So only thing I'm expecting is letting the bearish correction play out and to look for prices pushing back into trend range. So we have first leg down. So I'm going to predict second leg down. Market likes to move in pairs of twos. Okay. Can I go long? Not really. Because we have quite a decent bearish push down. We're still below EMA. Not too convincing for me. I want to see push above EMA and a failed second entry short. Even though it worked for a scalp, next time you may take it. It may not work. It's better to be safe because this is a little bit too bearish. We are making some static lows, but we are making a lower high. So that's a little bit worrisome. I want to see push above EMA. Can we push above EMA? And we cannot. I notice we're breaking lower. So now that I can see we overshot the second leg, there's also a possibility for me to measure the first move down, pull back, and second. So this may be just the first leg down, correction, second leg down. I'm definitely not selling because this is a bullish structure still. You can see if you sell here, you may get trapped because market is reversing. Okay, now that I see strong push above EMA and I can see larger two-legged pullback, I'm expecting for prices to offer me a failed second entry short above EMA to create new extreme. And notice price action created break a new high. I was expecting for EMA to hold and it didn't happen. Market keeps pushing lower. So you can see there is some bearish momentum happening. We failed to reach the resistance again, followed by a very strong push below EMA. So this is right now indecision. If I'm going to zoom back, I can still see big bullish spike into consolidation. So I definitely don't want to be thinking to sell just yet if it's such an unclear structure. It is definitely range like. You can see move down, move up, move down, move up. There's a slight bearish tilt, but it's not strong enough tilt for me to start selling just yet. I definitely cannot go long. Downtrend in play, break new extreme. Okay, so I'm gonna new low. Okay, so I'm still expecting for prices to push above EMA. Can we get a failed second entry short? We can, but it is a horrible bar, bearish bar. Don't want to take it. I want to see a nice bullish bar. Can we get a high-low confirmation setup? And we cannot. So I can see that the prices are stalling, and at this point on, I pretty much cannot take anything because EMA is really starting to flatten, just up and down. We're breaking above. Can I go long here? I cannot. Why I cannot go long? Well, notice prices form a congestion, and this is a smaller trend range, and most breakouts of trend ranges will fail. So you would be buying the breakout. Instead, you want to wait for prices to pull back because most breakouts will fail, and you want to take the you want to take the breakout pullback because most breakouts will fail. So I cannot go long just yet. I gotta be patient. Prices up a bit, and notice what we have: new low, first entry short, pullback, second entry short failure. Now this is a failed second entry short, but it managed to push strongly below EMA. It didn't even close above. Now this would have been okay and not a big of a problem if we were trading a decent bullish trend, quite a strong one. But this is not bullish trend at all. In fact, you have to make a decision if you're going to focus more on the range-like structure or the little bit of a bearish bias. So I was personally looking more bullish, but this is not the strong structure for me to ignore the fact that we cannot even stay above EMA. This is still too sideways. This is not a high probability setup. Remember, high probability setup needs to confirm the price action rules. You need to have your context down right. It needs to be at the key entry point. It needs to be a high probability setup, good pattern, not congested, clean, and this is definitely not a clean structure. Even though it has range-like characteristics, each new low and high are lower than lower. But notice what is happening. Now you're staying above the EMA, and this is the breakout, pullback pattern, and you have new high, first entry long, second entry long. So this is decent second entry long, confirmation of the failed second entry short. I can redraw the wider uptrend because I can see smaller higher lows, and at this point I'm still expecting for prices to reach the possible new high for this uptrend. There's still a chance that we may reach it. In fact, 80% of the time you will reach it. So I'm just following the rules and following the bias. So you can see the second entry long, breakout pullback of the smaller trend range, nice bullish bar, close above EMA, and you can see the smaller resistance is now acting as a support, and it's off the trend line as well. You can see nice setup, you break, you expect for prices to push higher. We have new extreme, so I'm going to redraw new high here, new high here, and notice what is happening. Okay, we're completely reversing all the way down. So now I have to completely abandon my bullish thesis. We didn't create new high. The bulls attempted multiple times. This was very choppy, very unclear. You can get trapped on a couple shorts, and you can get trapped on a couple longs if you just jump the gun too early. There's pretty much no good setup to take just yet. And now you have to start a brand new structure, because look how strong this momentum is. And this is right now indicating that we may have a downtrend starting. And at this point, I'm going to redraw the low of the day, because this may be a potential target, the low of the day, which prices may reach, because the bulls threw in the towel and the brand new structure is starting. Notice how strong this is compared to the overall structure. So we are completely beginning a brand new downtrend. We are correcting, and we already formed new extreme. So I need to draw a new extreme, break new extreme. So I'm just following the short-term channels. You can see so far no clear larger pattern, definitely not easy structure to navigate. So if you're feeling uncertainty and you can't put the finger on what is the bias, that's normal, because not every single day the price action is going to offer you easy structure to trade with easy setups. So just try to follow the short-term channels and really try to wait for the decent setup. Remember, high probability setup needs to fit multiple criterias. Okay, I'm going to redraw the short and uptrend. We're pushing higher. Okay. We have a small congestion. At this point, I was looking for prices to continue working lower because we have first leg down, pullback, second leg down. So I was expecting for prices to still give me the second bearish leg. But even though I expect this, I cannot jump the gun just yet. All right? Because I can see bullish trend, congestion, and we're breaking lower. We have a new high, first entry long, pullback, second entry long, failure. I cannot go short just yet. Notice a horrible bullish bar, too congested, stim at the bottom, the signal bar is bullish. I cannot go short. I need to wait. You can see you're back in the congestion. So EMA is completely flat and this is a no trade zone. If you see this, you shouldn't be trading this. EMA completely flat in the middle of the bars. That's the worst type of congestion. I cannot touch this. Uptrend may get new extreme. And now you can see we created new extreme. So this was the first leg up. Pullback, second leg up. So right now I'm expecting for prices to continue to resume the second bearish leg because this first bearish leg started the bearish move. So I expect for prices to offer me the second move down. And now we have a two-legged pullback. Market likes to move in pairs of twos, which played out. And now we can resume the bearish direction again. Okay, but you can see we're working sideways. We have a new low, first entry short, failed instantly. And we have a second entry short. We have a second entry short at the top of this trend range. The signal bar, however, is quite sketchy. Look at the stim at the bottom. I will mark it more aggressive because it is a second entry short at the top of the trend range. I can move it even a little bit higher. The second entry short at the top of the trend range while the two-legged pullback played out and you have a new extreme and you're expecting the second leg down, but it's definitely a little bit more advanced and market continues working lower. And notice this was the second leg down the market created. Gonna redraw the downtrend. Break new extreme. Okay, so now that I can see that we have larger two legs down, I was potentially looking for a channel like this, but this felt a little bit too early because notice if you're watching a structure like this, it is a little bit too broad and a little bit too wide to focus on the downtrend just yet. So in this situation, you have to analyze what kind of structure you are trading. Take a look at the structure. Is this a downtrend? It is. Clearly, lower lows, lower highs. But how strong this downtrend is this a strong downtrend? Despite the fact you see a very strong leg here, pullback, second strong leg here, this is not a strong downtrend. This is quite a weak downtrend. Now, strong downtrend would have a lot of small bars working lower, gradual and consistent sell-off, and the bullish pullbacks will be minimal. Now this is the opposite. Instead of gradual sell-off, you have a 90-degree spike down, strong bullish pullback. 90-degree spike down, strong bullish pullback. 90-degree moves, they tend to get pullback quite strong and may get even reversed quickly. Okay, this is not the consistent series of lower highs where you're consistently trading like this. And we're going to see this throughout the session because this is a weak downtrend. For this reason, you have to be a little bit careful. Now, why am I talking about this? Well, because you're going to see second entry that may lure you in, but it is too early to go short because of this structure. Okay, so let's talk about what's happening here. So we have an uptrend working higher. Notice 5 consecutive bullish bars pushing above EMA. One very steep leg, first entry short, and you have second entry short. Now, even though this is looking tempting, I cannot go short just yet. First of all, EMA is in the middle of these bars. If I saw this setup in a very strong downtrend, this wouldn't be a big of a problem. But notice you have big steep spike down, pullback, second steep spike down. So as far as you're watching this, the two-legged larger push played out and you expect stronger bullish pullback. For this reason, I don't like going short just yet. Even though you think that the structure is bearish, yes, but given the fact that you have 2 steep legs down, you cannot just pull the trigger just yet, especially after 5 consecutive bullish bars. such a very strong steep push up. It feels just like a one leg. Remember, market likes to move in pairs of twos. So you cannot go short here. Double trap, you cannot take. It is too congested. EMA exactly middle of these bars. It worked, but you have to follow the rules of congestion. Now, you have a breakout pullback. Can we get a lower high breakout pullback? It would have been great. Lower high breakout pullback out of the congestion. Now you can see EMA holding. So now you can see, okay, we may continue the bearish resumption. At this point, I can redraw even the wider downtrend because EMA kept holding, kept rejecting prices. I can start trusting this channel. But there is no trigger higher. It is inside bar. Had this triggered higher, this would have been great lower high breakout pullback. Even though there is no trigger, you still want to go back and study what's happening here because next time you may get a trigger. And notice market keeps pushing lower. So you're very close to low of the day. I'm going to redraw the uptrend. We have new low, first entry short, second entry short, lower high. Now, I didn't like this lower high at the time, but I am going to mark it because it is an okay setup to take a chance. I'm actually going to mark it. Why I didn't like it? I'm actually going to fast forward a little bit so you guys can see later on why I didn't like it. It felt like the bullish correction is very tiny given the weak downtrend characteristic, and you can see how structure is starting to stall. You don't want to be in this trade while you see structure congested like this. You can see the edge is no longer present in the market. Actually, you could have got out on a scalp if you just, held a small scalp. If you're trying to take anything more out of it, you probably would have 100% got it stopped out. Now, new low, first entry short. You're at the top of the trend range. I'm going to redraw the short-term channel. Actually, I kind of like drawing it even like this. This is too wide. I'm going to draw it like this, but it's just a first entry short. I can't take it just yet. Wide double top. And now you have second entry short. New low, first entry short, pullback, second entry short. And this is quite advanced setup. But notice, it is very similar to this second entry short right here. So you have congestion and a second entry short, top right part of the trend range. So I'm going to mark it. Me personally, I wanted to see bar closing below EMA. I was ready to take a short. I really liked closing below EMA, so it would really give me the clear sign that we're really going to continue working low. Unfortunately, it closed like this, which scared me a little bit, which was a mistake. I was supposed to take it, but it was an okay setup. Now you have a breakout pullback, and now it feels back in the congestion. Big bullish bar, no room to scalp low. Same thing here, second entry short, but you're so close to these lows. Even though you may scalp, just not worth it. Notice you're so close to low today at the very low of this move. This is a weak downtrend. You can't do this. Okay, we're breaking the trend line. Okay, I'm expecting failed second entry long, but prices keep pushing higher. Okay, so we're bouncing off the low today. So there is a chance that the trend line is slightly wider. So I'm just going to adapt. No problem in adapting. Don't argue with the market. You can see we bounce off the low today. So you may definitely get some stronger uptrend. That's definitely to be expected. You can see we downtrend working lower. So now we have new extreme even for the wider channel. We're pushing below EMA. So what am I expecting? Failed second entry long, because according to trend line rules, we have a downtrend. We expect to form new extreme, and we have a break new high of this uptrend, which is indicating to me, okay, bulls are no longer in control. If we're going to push below EMA, there's going to be the resumption and confirmation of the selling pressure, and a failed second entry long would be a great high priority setup. Can we get it? No. The market just continues working to a new extreme. So I need to mark new extreme, and notice the strength of this trend. This is quite a distinct push to new extreme, very, very strong. So already, even though I have a break new low, it's starting to ring a bell that this may be quite a strong downtrend, because this is quite a big move down. However, and you can see even another push down. So this is quite strong. And look at this, another push down. So this is information from the market that you don't want to be looking for a reversal if you see this, because zoom back, you can see you've been basically trending to the downside for a couple hours. However, I cannot jump the gun just yet. I have a break and new extreme for the main channel. There may be a stronger bullish correction, which indeed is happening. I was considering failed second entry long, new high, first entry long, pullback, second entry long, but it's getting too congested again. Look at this. Completely stacking up. EMA flattening in all these bars. It worked. The same thing, second entry short, very tempting, but it's just too close. I wanted to enter with a deep limit order at the half, but I decided to cancel in it. It ended up working, but you know, you cannot sell into these lows. You have to be very careful. This is once again the no trade zone. Just don't touch it. Okay, new low, first entry short, second entry short. And the astute members may already start to see a similarity of the structure. So what are you expecting? Well, you're expecting a new high for this uptrend, and this is a repeat pattern of this and repeat pattern of this. So notice, okay, now we have larger two-leg up pullback, first leg up, pullback, second leg up. We are selling at the top of this small trend range. We created new extreme for the uptrend, and this would be visual two-leg up pullback, exact same setup like we had here. Can we get a trigger? And no. The price is stalled and didn't trigger right away below this bearish bar, which would allow me to sell at the top. So I cannot sell here, unfortunately. I just have to sit here and watch it go. Nothing I can do. It's a shame, but you know, it didn't trigger right away. Okay, we're breaking high. We have a failed breakout. According to trend range rules, you expect for this breakout to fail. You have a new extreme, and you also have first leg here, pullback, kind of like a second leg. And notice lower high. So you have a first leg, consolidation in price action, second leg, followed by a failed breakout, which most breakout trend ranges will fail. And this is a lower high confirmation setup of this failed breakout. Great high probability setup. Look at the strong momentum. Great tier 1 signal bar. You're above EMA, but this is okay because you're coming after failed breakout. Strong bearish bar, and prices keep pushing lower. This was a great trade. Unfortunately, you had to be really quick. And notice, I'm going to zoom back and I'm going to walk you through this structure, why it was so difficult. And this structure is quite unusual. We don't see a trend like this every single day. Notice the characteristics of this week downtrend, and notice it all acts the same. You have a very steep spike down without a single touch of the EMA. And you have larger two-leg pullback, and you have congestion. Another steep spike down without a single touch of the EMA, which is indicating, okay, you may have stronger bullish correction, which indeed you had. Another steep spike down without touch of the EMA, and followed by a strong bullish correction. And notice another steep spike down without touch of the EMA into a bullish correction, followed by consolidation. And notice all these patterns have the same repeat pattern. You are selling at the top of the trend range, the second entry short right here. You're selling the second entry short at the top of this trend range right here. And you're selling second entry short at the top of the trend range here, or the lower high after failed breakout here. Because you have to switch to trend range rules here. You don't want to buy because the structure main is bearish. But if you're observing a small trend range, you have to sell high or fade the breakout. So this is why you're selling here, selling here, selling here. This is quite difficult price action. We don't see these trends so often. So you don't have that many opportunities to practice a structure like this. So it's very easy to get chopped if you try to pull the gun too quickly while the market is correcting. You have to be patient throughout these congestions because it is really tempting to sell because you see the bearish bias, but the EMA is just so flat and everything is just so congested. Okay, and now you can see that the prices are working lower. First entry short, can we get a second entry short? We cannot. New low, first entry short, can we get a second entry short? We have a second entry short, but the signal bar is bullish, so I cannot take it. Look at this big bullish bar into see bearish bar, and it's going too low. And notice something is changing. I hope you can now see that the trend characteristic is changing. It's no longer just a steep leg followed by a consolidation. Right now you can see you're observing a lot of small bars slowly but surely chopping lower. The bullish pullbacks are not as strong and you're failing to close above EMA. So now you're switching into a very strong downtrend structure. You can see how the pullbacks are smaller. EMA keeps rejecting often. Micro double bottom. If this was a legit second entry short, would have been great, but it wasn't. It was just first entry short. Structure is bearish. New low, first entry short. second entry short, but the uptrend is in play. I also have small little trading range again. And now you have a lower high confirmation of the second entry short. Now, another thing I want to talk about is this channel, because once you have a break and new low, I was looking for some bigger channel, but no wider channel felt great. This is too broad. If I'm going to draw this, just doesn't have as many confirmations. I was looking for some broad channel because I want to find something that will respect this bearish downtrend, but I ended up using my older one, which had a couple of breaks because it was just holding so great later on. Now we don't really see this often because every single time I'm going to break new low, you generally have to use a different channel, but today was quite unusual structure, so I have to trade what I see. So now you have a lower high, but still above EMA. Yes, you have quadruple top. The prior trend line is coming into play. You can take a chance here, but it's a little bit more aggressive. The market keeps pushing lower. You can see the weak bullish pullbacks, which is indicating strong trend characteristics. Can we get a second entry short? We have a first entry short. We can't get second entry short. New low, first entry short, pullback, second entry short. So we finally have a second entry short. Is a two leg up pullback, first leg up, pullback, second leg up. Great bar at the EMA, high probability setup. Can we see? And resulted into great scalp. And eventually you can hold your runner and you can trail it all the way down. You can see you're overshooting the trend line, which means notice how the bottom fell off. Very oversold, steep move down at the end of a trend, overshooting the channel, so you're expecting stronger bullish correction. Notice prices keep pushing higher, so I'm going to even redraw it more because we expect for prices to break the channel after overshoot. We actually have a new high, first entry long, pullback, second entry long, which is a great setup because this uptrend is new high, you're at the EMA, and it was a strong bullish momentum. Of course, I'm only marking this hypothetically because it is too late. You don't be trading. And market kept pushing higher. First leg up, pullback, second leg up, and now it's definitely too late. You don't be trading. Definitely not an easy day to trade. If you were struggling, that's completely okay because, you know, nothing was that clean. And the last 3 days of price action, it was very difficult. You have to be really patient. Eventually you get rewarded with a nice setup, but you had to wait quite a long time. And a couple of these easy setups can really make up the waiting, but you can see hopefully the strong downtrend started after you have a break new low and such a massive push down, and suddenly small bullish pullbacks, consistent rejection. Notice how strong this downtrend is. A lot of small bars working lower, and here it was a weak downtrend because the bearish correction, the bearish push was so strong, far away from EMA, followed by a very deep bullish pullback. For this reason, I don't like taking the second entry short because you just had larger two-legged pullback down, almost measured. So you expect a larger pullback. You cannot go short just yet. And eventually, it's a shame we didn't get the felt second entry long. So I hope you find the video helpful and I hope you had a great trading day. So I'm going to talk to you next time.